Welcome to the Advanced Dual Health and Life Coach Certification. Today, we're discussing wellness coaching modules, more importantly, about coping with grief and promoting rest. Introduction. The experience of grief is one of the most profound human emotions and often one of the hardest to process. It's a reaction to loss, whether that loss stems from the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, a major life transition, or even the loss of identity or dreams. For life and health coaches, understanding grief is crucial because it not just affects emotional health, but also your physical well being, relationships, and the ability to rest and rejuvenate. Grief is not a linear process. It manifests differently for everyone, presenting a complex interplay of emotions such as sadness, anger, guilt, denial, and even moments of peace. Just as each individual is different, so are their grieving processes. A life and health coach must respect this individuality while providing guidance tailored to the client's needs. Supporting someone through grief goes beyond offering comforting words. It involves equipping them with the tools to cope effectively, fostering resilience, and creating a safe space for healing. Equally important to navigating grief is the concept of rest and rejuvenation. Grief often leads to physical exhaustion, disrupted sleep cycles, and a lack of energy or motivation. Promoting rest becomes a vital part of the healing process. Rest isn't just about physical sleep, it's holistic. It encompasses emotional rest, mental clarity, and spiritual well being. A coach must understand how to encourage rejuvenation to help their clients rebuild strength and rediscover joy post loss. Key points. Understanding grief and its dimension. To serve the clients effectively, coaches must first understand the multidimensional nature of grief. Grief is not just an emotional experience, it impacts the body, mind, and spirit. Types of losses that cause grief. Grief can stem from a wide variety of sources, not just death. Coaches should recognize losses such as career changes, divorce, chronic illness, or relocation as valid grief triggers. Stages of grief are not linear. Popularized by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, the stages of grief involve denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. It's essential to note that not everyone follows these stages sequentially, and some may revisit some stages at several multiple times. A tip is to avoid forcing a client into a timeline for grief. Instead, meet them where they are in their unique process. Take a moment to have a look at the three-dimensional model of grief to your right. Cultural and social influences. Grief is also shaped by cultural beliefs, religion, traditions, and societal norms. These factors influence how individuals express their loss and what support they need. Example, a certain culture emphasizes public mourning rituals, while other would prefer private. Physical effect of grief. Beyond emotions, grief can take a physical toll, resulting in fatigue, headaches, digestive issues, or even a weakened immune system. Chronic grief may also increase the risk of heart disease or other illness. Coaching practice encourage the clients to pay attention to how grief manifests in their bodies and promote strategies for physical care such as proper nutrition, hydration, or gentle movement. 2. Sensitive coaching methods for navigating loss. Working with clients who are grieving requires a specific set of skills rooted in compassion, intuition, and respect for their experience. Below are some techniques for providing grief related support. Active listening. Grieving clients often just want to be heard. Active listening means being fully present, reflecting on their words without judgment, and asking open ended questions. Holding space. This means creating a safe, judgment free zone where the clients can process feelings openly, no matter how messy or contradictory they may seem. Building communication around acceptance. Encourage clients to honor their emotions without feeling rushed to fix or suppress them, and use language to normalize their grief. Guided reflection exercises. Ask the clients to explore the relationship with the loss, reflect on what they value, how it shaped their life, and what resilience they can draw from the past challenges. Consider asking clients to write a letter to their loss, whether it's a person, opportunity, or identity, to express gratitude, anger, forgiveness, or closure. Gentle forward movement. While grief should not be rushed, coaches can help the clients set tiny, manageable goals for daily living. This is particularly helpful when the grief causes stagnation. The importance of rest in the grieving process. Grief disrupts energy levels and exhausts emotional reserves. By learning to prioritize rest, clients can rebuild their physical and mental well being. Understanding the types of rest. There are multiple dimensions of rest which clients should cultivate. They include physical, mental, social, and spiritual rest. Helping the clients recognize their personal need for rest. Grieving clients often ignore rest because they feel guilty about stepping away from responsibilities. So, a tip could be to reframe rest as an act of self compassion necessary for healing. Take a look at the five stages of the grieving process. Promoting quality sleep. Sleep is often disrupted during grieving, but it's necessary for emotional regulation. Share strategies like creating a bedtime wind down routine, journaling before sleep to release racing thoughts, and using gentle guided meditation designed to promote sleep. Integration. You can help the clients embed small amounts of rest in their daily life. For instance, scheduling micro breaks of deep breathing during long work hours and encouraging a 10-minute mindfulness practice to combat mental overload. 4. Encouraging rejuvenation post grief. Rest builds a foundation for rejuvenation, the process of reawakening energy, joy, and meaning in life after loss. It could be to reconnect with purpose. Loss often causes individuals to feel adrift. Coaches can help their clients start over or reawaken their passions and bring meaning. Celebrating small wins. Help the clients recognize and celebrate even the minor signs of progress, reminding them that the healing is a cumulative process. Exploring creative outlets. Art, music, and writing are powerful tools for processing grief and promoting healing. Encourage the clients to experiment with creative forms of expression. Rebuilding relationships. Grief can strain the social connections, but it can also deepen authentic bonds. So make sure that you're guiding the clients in navigating this complexity. Moving towards gratitude. While this must be handled delicately, eventually guiding clients to identify moments of gratitude or lessons from the loss can promote deeper emotional peace. Advanced tool, help them find the anchors in their day that remind them of life's ongoing beauty even amid grief. 5. Avoiding pitfalls in grief coaching. Finally, it's important to avoid missteps as a coach when dealing with grief. Do not rush the healings and allow the clients time without setting strict expectations. Minimizing their experiences. Phrases like everything happens for a reason or time will heal often feels dismissive. Overstepping boundaries. Recognize when the grief is beyond the coach's scope and requires a referral to a therapist or counselor, particularly if it becomes unresolved or clinical depression develops. Best practices for coaches. Supporting grieving clients to cope with loss and prioritize rest requires a nuanced, empathetic approach. Below are the best practices for coaches, organized to ensure comprehensive understanding. 1. Practice deep empathy without assumption. Grief is unique to every individual. Avoid assuming how someone should grieve or what they might feel at a given time. You can use reflective listening to summarize what your client is expressing. Example saying, it sounds like you're both feeling sadness and confusion about this loss. Is that right? 2. Create a judgment free space. Clients need a safe, supportive environment for sharing their thoughts and feelings. You can ask introductions and icebreakers like what has felt the hardest today and what has felt a little lighter in case the client hesitates to open up themselves. 3. Guide, don't push. Clients may need to sit with the grief before considering solutions. Avoid being overly directive or ask them to move on. 4. Introduce rest frameworks that fit the client's lifestyle. Helping the clients prioritize rest involves understanding their life circumstances and adapting strategies accordingly. 5. Normalize emotionally complex responses. Clients often feel guilt, anger, or relief alongside sadness. Normalizing these mixed emotions fosters greater self acceptance. 6. Helping the clients identify practical coping mechanisms for each phase. Each grief stage or reaction benefits from a different coping strategies tailored to the moment. 7. Anchor the clients in the present moment. Grieving individuals may get stuck in either the past or the future, so making mindfulness practices is incredibly valuable over here. 8. Encourage progressive goal setting. Set doable daily or weekly goals to help the grieving clients regain a sense of control. 9. Validate the need for social boundaries. Grief can make social interactions draining, so help the clients balance rest with connection by setting appropriate boundaries. 10. Take a holistic approach to healing. Use wellness dimensions, example physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, as a broad framework for supporting clients. 11. Stay alert to complicated grief. Be aware of signs that grief could be turning into something more severe, such as unresolved grief or depression. 12. Align recovery with clients' values. Healing feels more authentic when the client is tied deeply to their beliefs or priorities. 13. Celebrate and acknowledge milestones. Grieving clients often don't recognize their own progress. A coach can reflect this back to them. 14. Maintain self care as a coach. Your emotional well being influences your ability to help others. Processing secondhand grief and setting professional boundaries are very essential. Let's have a look at the summary tables. Table number 1 looks at the types of losses and their impacts. We have a look at the losses, causes or triggers, common emotional responses, physical effects, and some coaching considerations. Table number 2 looks at the dimensions of rest. We have the types of rest, definitions, methods to achieve it, benefits, and some examples. Take a couple of seconds and minutes to have a look at the tables. Table number 3 looks at the coaching techniques for grieving clients. We have a look at the technique, the description, some key actions, purpose, and some examples. 4. Strategies for promoting sleep. You can have a look at the different strategies, the description, how it helps, examples, and some advanced insights. And finally, table number 5 looks at the steps towards rejuvenation post-grief. You can have a look at the different steps you can use, description, why it matters, example practices, and some coaching rules. Let's have a look at some MCQs. Take some moment to have a look at question number 1. Take a moment to have a look at question number 2. Take a moment to have a look at question number 3. Take a moment to have a look at question number 4. And finally, number 5.